tough one to take. Kids, proud of our kids, fought to the very end, gave themselves an opportunity to try to win the game, and we just came up a little bit short and had a couple people, other people we had to go against to try to make it happen. But like I said, proud of our effort, proud of how we came back, how we didn't fold, and now, you know, what we've got to learn how to do is, when we get in those situations, just take it one step forward, and you know, so we can come away with a win. But you know, the thing is, as I told the guys, as much as we hurt ourselves, you know, in the first half, I think we might have dropped 3 interceptions that we could have had. You know, we hurt ourselves with some holding calls and you know, some bad decisions when we got inside the plus territory. But with all that being said, we still battled and found a way to come back and give ourselves an opportunity, you know, there at the end. And, you know, just, it hurts. You know, it hurts. Because when you get that close, you want to win. And you want those kids to be able to feel that, and then hopefully that would give them a little bit, would give them more confidence. But yeah, this one hurts.
What can you say about how Jack Zergiotis played? He made all kinds of big plays in the second half.
He competed. You know, he made some plays that weren't so good, and never got down on himself, and just kept battling. And you know, for one example. And even like Cam, you know, they missed that one throw there in the first half where Cam kind of got on top of the guy and then kind of faded a little bit, and Jack threw the ball a little bit inside and he just couldn't get it. And I told him when he came off, I said, you know, you had the guy beat, now get back on top of him and stack him, you know, so now Jack can, if he puts the ball inside, you can go get it, and the defender would have to run up your back to try to make the play. And then that 94-yarder, you know, that's what he did. And so that's the thing that you like. Those guys are competitors, and you know, there's some things that Jack will do that'll drive you nuts. But he's got that mentality that he's got a lot of confidence in his arm, and it's just a guy we got to continue to work with. He took off and ran with the ball a few times, which was good. So again, improving, and we'll only get better with more reps.
You went away from him in the first half after the fumble on the QB sneak, but then went back to him. What was the mindset going back to him? And he had a heck of a second half.
The plan was going into the game, I told Steven he was going to play in the first half. And I told him that. And I told Jack that, you know, told him that. And that's the thing, you know, I as soon as I saw what was happening on that sneak, I'm sitting there saying, he's got to fumble this ball. Because I saw how he went up there and he was rushing it, and he started moving before the ball got into his hands. And, you know, he fumbled it. But the plan was, you know, that we knew, I wasn't going to relay it to anybody other than the coaches, that we were going to play Steven. Steven hadn't practiced until this week. And so I wanted to give him some chances. And then, you know, he missed a wide open Jay Ross right down the middle of the field. It would have been a touchdown. You know, so again, you know, even though we were that close, we had many, many opportunities to be able to, you know, win this game, and we just didn't get it done.
Down the stretch, 2nd and goal, I think there was a close PI call in the corner. What was your viewpoint on that?
You know, there's some things I'd really like to say, but I don't feel like paying a fine. But I'll just leave it at that. I didn't agree with that. I had to make sure I told the officials on the punt return that add the 5 yards on, and they said you can't. And then they said, oh yeah, you can. So I just think there was some things that were a little bit left to be desired from one aspect of the people that were out there performing.
Before the 50-yard field goal attempt, was there any thoughts of going for it on 4th down there?
It was right on the edge, and I just felt that, you know, I had confidence in Clay that he could make it. He's made them in practice all week long. And I think what happens is, and as I told some of our guys at halftime, is I thought some of our guys pressed too much. And I think he was pressing too much. and he just wasn't kicking natural, and that's why it hooked a little bit. He had plenty of leg, but the thing is, it's 4th and 9. Yeah, I thought about it, but 4th and 9, a 50-yarder, I've seen him make them in practice all this week. You know, we were with the wind, and I just said, you know what, gives us an opportunity, and I thought that was a better, if we were 4th and, 2, might have been a different story. But 4th and 9, I thought, that was the best opportunity. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and that one just didn't quite work out, but the kid gave it his best effort.
Randy, as you were going down there getting ready to get within 1, were you starting to think about you were going to go for 2 to win that game?
We were going for 2 regardless. I told that before they went out there. I told them we're going to go down and score, we're going for 2 to win the game. And then when we got it down, when we got closer, I went out and told them, I said, you guys are going to score a touchdown, we're going for 2, and we're walking off victorious. Exactly what I told them.
East Carolina had put up some huge numbers against Cincinnati and SMU. Were you relatively satisfied with what your defense did?
Well, I talked to I said that in there to the team. In the last 2 weeks, they put up 94 points, over 1,000 yards throwing, 10 touchdowns, and I thought our guys competed. I thought they really competed. We did some things that, we blew a coverage down there for a touchdown, and we had a situation where we should have just been a guy back on both those guys. They shouldn't have had a throw. I thought we contested a lot of balls, and they were better athletes than we were. They made some plays, and we just didn't make enough of those tight jump ball plays. But again, we battled. We stopped them at times. We got a pick there at the end by KP. And when you look at it, when you lose, I think we lost 6 guys in the secondary. We lost Miles. That looks like an ACL surgery next week. Tyler Coyle with a shoulder. Taj Herring with a head. Jeremy Lucian with a head. Diamond Harrell. He had a clavicle. So we lost some guys, and then what has to happen is guys have got to step up, and DJ Morgan got hurt early, came back. Terrence Gagne got an ankle, he's out. So again, credit the defense for just finding a way to give us an opportunity, and again, it just we came up a little bit short. The other thing that that hurt us, especially in the first half, is that the third downs. We were awful. With third down, stopping them on third down, and we weren't very good. We were still only 5 of 16 of third downs. They were 5 of 12, but in the first half, I think they might have got all 5 of them in the first half. But again, I just think we could, get a little bit, could have been a little bit better.
Art Tompkins also banged up?
Huh?
Is Art Tompkins?
Yeah, Art got a knee. He got a knee. I don't know what his status will be for next week, but he's out. He was out, and so again, we got banged up, and we hurt ourselves, like I said, in the first half. But like I said, proud of our guys, the way they came back in the second half, because they battled and gave us a chance to win. And I appreciate all the fans that were here, too. Appreciate them coming out.
Stanley came on for Nino at center, and Dylan played for the first time. Despite some of the penalties, it seemed there was good protection the whole game.
Yeah, I thought Dylan settled down after the first couple series, and thought he did well. It was going to be one of those. I made that move, and Frank and I talked about it because we're going to move Dylan inside the guard for next year, and we thought that he was the best guy to move in there now, and because he brings a little bit more physicality to the position. And we just didn't. Nino had an ankle, and we didn't like the way he was moving, so we ended up putting Stanley in there. And just trying to do whatever I could do to win a game. That's all we tried to do. It's all I ever try to do. Make decisions. Some people don't like them. Tough. Just try to make decisions to give our team the best opportunity to win. You good? Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.